6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Kanuz Ashraf. First, the headlines. Situation across the country is improving following agreement between government and a religious party to end sit-in at Faizabad interchange in Islamabad. Pakistan has assured full cooperation to international community for safe, secure and sustainable aviation systems. Third CPEC Media Forum is underway in Islamabad. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed today against the Indian brutalities. The United Nations says over 11 million children in Yemen desperately need humanitarian assistance. India beat Sri Lanka by an inning and 239 runs in the second cricket test at Nagpur today. And now the news in detail. The situation all over the country is improving in wake of the agreement between the government and the protesters. According to the latest reports, all the motorways are now open for traffic. All roads in twin cities of Islamabad and Rawalpindi have also been opened except Faizabad interchange that will hopefully be opened after the departure of the protesters. Containers have been removed in the surrounding areas of Faizabad, which was closed due to the sit-in of a religious party over the last 21 days. Traffic has partially been restored on Islamabad Expressway. Earlier, the government and the leadership of the protesters reached an agreement for peaceful resolution of protest sit-in at Faizabad interchange in Islamabad. The agreement envisaged winding up of sit-in and the countrywide protests. Following the understanding, Minister for Law Zahid Hamid resigned. The religious party had demanded his resignation as the amendment in the law was presented to the parliament through his ministry. All those arrested during protest would be released within 3 days and cases against them would be withdrawn. An inquiry board would be established to inquire into operation against protesters. Islamabad High Court today adjourned hearing of Faizabad sit-in case till Monday next. Justice Shaukat Aziz Siddiqui is hearing the case. Commissioner Islamabad informed the court that after the agreement, Faizabad interchange would be cleared within few hours. Interior Minister Ahsan Iqbal submitted before the court that the government has acted in best interest of the country. He said military leadership played its role in hammering out an agreement. The 11th Developing T8 meeting of aviation chiefs and experts working group began in Islamabad today to discuss challenges and prospects of future cooperation in this field. In his opening remarks, Advisor to Prime Minister on Aviation, Sardar Mehtab Ahmed Khan, said Pakistan would extend full cooperation to international community for safe, secure, efficient and sustainable aviation systems. Deputy Under-Secretary Transport, Maritime Affairs and Communications, Turkey, Orhan Bardal, said D8 countries are geographically separated, but the aviation industry removes the borders and opens wider gates of cooperation in all fields. D8 Secretary General Syed Ali Muhammad Musavi said the D8 Forum aims to assist policymakers and stakeholders for keeping them abreast of the latest trends in aviation and for the sustainable development of the industry. Third CPEC Media Forum began in Islamabad today to promote information and cultural collaboration by bringing closer the media of the two countries. Addressing the inaugural session of the forum, Chairman Parliamentary Committee on CPEC Senator Mushahid Hussain Syed said people-to-people contact and cooperation between the media industries is significant to get maximum benefit from CPEC. Speaking on the occasion, Senator Abdul Qayyum said CPEC is not only a project but also an economic concept. Addressing the event, Chinese Ambassador to Pakistan Yao Zheng said CPEC Media Forum is the higher level of our collaboration and partnership and it demands much responsibility for its successful culmination. Prime Minister Shahid Haqqan Abbasi arrived in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia today. Foreign Minister Khwaja Asif and Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa and senior officials are accompanying him. Governor Riyadh Prince Faisal bin Bandar Al Saud received the Prime Minister. Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Governor Iqbal Zafar Chagra says implementation of FATA reforms will usher in a new era of development and prosperity in the area. Talking to a delegation of journalists from South Waziristan in Peshawar today, he said 90 billion rupees will be spent on different development projects in FATA in the near future. This is Radio Pakistan. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed today against the Indian brutalities and the ill treatment meted out to the illegally detained Kashmiris languishing in different jails of India and Kashmir. Call for the strike was given by the joint resistance leadership comprising Sayyid Ali Gilani, Mir Wais Umar Farooq and Muhammad Yasin Malik. Heavy deployments of Indian Army, Police and the paramilitary Central Reserve Police Force were made in Srinagar and other districts of the valley. The puppet authorities put senior resistance leader Mir Wais Umar Farooq under house arrest, while Sayyid Ali Gilani continues to remain under house arrest detention at his Haidarpura residence in Srinagar since 2010. The authorities arrested Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front chairman Muhammad Yasin Malik from his Masooma residence and shifted him to Central Jail, Srinagar. The United Nations says that more than 11 million children in Yemen are in desperate need of humanitarian assistance. Addressing a conference in Jordan's capital Amman, the UNICEF's regional director for the Middle East and North Africa, Girat Kabilari, said that Yemen is one of the countries that faces the highest level of malnutrition in the world. The regional director of UNICEF said nearly 5,000 children have been killed or seriously injured in the last 2.5 years. He said thousands of schools and health facilities have been completely destroyed, whereas 2 million children today in Yemen suffer acute malnutrition. Pope Francis has arrived on a visit to Myanmar, where he is scheduled to meet Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi. A Vatican spokesman said the Pope is set to hold a private meeting with Myanmar Army Chief General Min Aung Hlaing in Yangon. The Pope said previously condemned Myanmar's treatment of the Rohingya Muslims. The Pope will also visit Bangladesh and meet a small group of Rohingya refugees there in a symbolic gesture. Lebanese President Michael Aoun has held talks with the country's political leaders over the government's future in the wake of Prime Minister Saad Hariri's suspended resignation. President Michael Aoun today met the head of the Hezbollah's parliamentary bloc, Mohammad Raad, who later told reporters they discussed reactivating the government. Prime Minister Saad Hariri had announced his resignation on 4th of this month in Saudi Arabia, throwing his coalition government and the country into crisis, but withdrew it after returning home to allow time for negotiations. In Indonesia, authorities have raised the state of alert to its highest level and expanded the exclusion zone around the rumbling Mount Agung volcano in the Bali island. The Bali airport has been closed, disrupting some 445 flights, whereas at least 59,000 passengers are stranded. India beat Sri Lanka by an innings and 239 runs in the second test match in Nagpur today. Sri Lanka resumed its batting on 21 for 1 today, but the whole team got out on 166 runs in the second session. Indian off-spinner Ashwin got 4 wickets to return overall match figures for 8 for 130. Sri Lankan skipper Danish Chandimal remained top scorer with 61 runs. India lead the 3-match series 1-0. And finally, the weather. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, light rain is expected at a few places in Gilgit-Baltistan. Foggy conditions are likely to prevail over flood-plain areas of Upper Punjab, Sindh during morning hours. To end the news, headlines once again. Situation across the country is improving following agreement between government and religious party to end sit-in at Faizabad interchange in Islamabad. Pakistan has assured full cooperation to international community for safe, secure and sustainable aviation systems. Third CPEC Media Forum is underway in Islamabad. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown was observed today against the Indian brutalities. The United Nations says over 11 million children in Yemen desperately need humanitarian assistance. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com Radio Pakistan News Official.